it, don't it? That is Texas style brisket, and we're doing it hot and fast, or as close to it as we can. I'm experimenting today, so you're gonna learn with me on this, on the Weber 26. So you have three grades of brisket when you go to get a full packer. You got prime, choice, and select. Prime, very expensive like it sounds. Select, you selected the cheapest. We went with choice right down the middle because of our budget. This is gonna be a beautiful thing. Let's get to trimming. So what I have here today is about 13 1/3 pound packer brisket, as they call it. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. Just bring her on out, folks. Look at that. Man, that is beautiful. Okay, so here's the routine for today. We're gonna trim this brisket up, take some of the decal out, some of the fat on the other side, clean it up. Then we're going straight Texas style, salt and pepper only. Got some coals going now. We're gonna set up the snake so that that thing can start hot and fast really quick. I'm gonna try to get it up to 400 degrees. Once the snake starts working, temperature's right, smoke post, or I should say, the oak goes on, the post oak, some people call it. The oak goes on, and then we're smoking for at least 5 to 6 hours. Then we got, but once I get it to where I know it's just right, it's going in the cooler for 2 hours to rest, and then we'll slice and have dinner tonight. All right, so a lot of people know that this is the flat and this is the point, and it's pretty obvious, you know, it comes to a point. It's kind of the front of the pec there, the chest. This is underneath. So there's a lot of fat on here, and it's not all gonna render. So first off, make sure you have a very sharp knife. Do not want to play around. And we're gonna start whacking fat off of this thing here. All of this has to go. So there's as many opinions about how to trim a brisket as there is to cooking one, as there is to just about anything in barbecue. So everybody's got their technique and their style. I'm trying to get this to about 1/4 inch of fat because we're going Texas style, salt and pepper, and I'm just looking for a nice bark. So we're not gonna put this in the crutch and foil. It's gonna be butcher paper. We're not gonna be boiling our brisket. We're going for the straight up Texas bark. So every brisket you buy, you will quickly find out is different. And you can tell that some of this fat when you're cutting it is either really hard or extremely kind of on the sinewy, slimy side. So that's another thing. The more briskets you trim, the more you will learn about what you do and don't like on that cut. All right. Okay, so here be the other side of that decal. That's really hard fat, and as you may or may not know, kind of hard to render. Now it's coming down to shape. When you start to see a good shape come together that you like. Well, here, let's, so we've lost some weight. All right, so there's your grain for your flat. So when you slice this thing, you're gonna wanna know that. It's very obvious that it's going this way. So an old barbecue pitmaster trick is to whack that corner, and that tells you where that slice begins and works itself that way. And then on the point, as you can see, its grain's going this way, kind of underneath that and opposite it. So they're going like this and that. Okay, so for the rub, real easy, 50% salt, 50% pepper. This is fresh ground organic black pepper. Let me just dump that in my shaker. It's basically 1/4 cup each because I don't need a whole lot for this brisket. And the 1/4 cup of kosher grainy salt, you know, nice coarse salt, I should say, kosher salt. All right, so shake that up a little bit. No fancy, we're not putting hot sauce, mustard, Worcestershire, beef consomme, none of that, no injection. We are going straight up salt and pepper. All right, so let's get this nice little coat going here. And you can see with this ball jar and this sweet little attachment that they sell with it, you get great holes on the top of this thing. It works really well. Ooh, look at that, wind's helping me out there a little bit. All right, let me, a little bit more on this side. There's something beautiful about a brisket and salt and pepper. It's just straight up, man. That's a beautiful Texas brisket. Okay, so we're gonna end up taking this inside to let it get to room temperature, but before that, let's get our snake built. Okay, so onto our fire. Cooking on the Weber 26 today. One of my favorite cookers. Absolutely love this thing. Now, what we're gonna do is build ourselves a snake. It's ridiculous. So the idea is that you want these to touch and stay consistent. So I'll literally go around and do the one row, then the second, then the third, and then stack from there so that it's very even and it burns very even. This is kind of the secret to making sure your snake is literally like set it and forget it. So let's get to work. Coffee today. Thanks for the mug, Jason. Pretty sweet. All right, so I'm reading 365 is what I was reading on my Maverick XR there. So I think it's time to get our meat on. Now, I'd put in about 3/4 of a chimney in here to get it started. Wasn't getting hot enough to get to that fast mode, that hot and fast mode. So I put another half a chimney in there. So it was a little over a chimney to get this thing up to 400 degrees. It was really difficult, but we were ready to go. Got my pan in here, filled with water, and let's get our meat on. I'm gonna kind of keep it away from the fire as much as I can. And we've got the oak up there. As you can see, it was smoking beautifully already. So that's pretty much okay, as long as she's not sitting on there. Oh, let me get my probe in her. It's not really important now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it in now, and I don't have to worry about it later. It's not really necessary yet because we're almost just going by time and color right now for a while. It's gonna be pretty mahogany in a couple hours. I'll do a little bit of spritzing. Once we get it up to the stall or maybe through it, we're gonna wrap it and see if we can't get it up to maybe 205 in about 5 or 6 hours. It's cold out here, but we'll see what happens. All right, our brisket. It is at 165. It is ready to be wrapped, and this grill has sat steady at 375 locked in. Ready for the reveal. Ted, are you ready? Oh, look at the color. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull this probe out. Ooh, she's already getting a little wiggle to her. Let's get this dog on some butcher paper. Really liking that bark, that's looking good. All right, we gotta hustle and get this thing wrapped right away. So this is butcher paper instead of aluminum foil, which will basically destroy that bark that we've been working on for 2.5 hours. That's right about where we're at right now. All right, so there we go. Just nestling it back on. I'm gonna take my probe, hit it right through into the point, still keeping the point towards the heat. Actually, I'm gonna pull this a little bit away from the heat. Okay, I'm happy with that, getting finicky. All right, it's nothing but a waiting game. That's been around 2.5 hours. This might take us up to 5, 5.5, hopefully not 6, but that's still hot and fast when you figure if you're cooking 275, 250, you're looking at almost an hour a pound. And we're really cutting that down like by half. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna go get some fixins, get this ready so we can do some slicing. It's probably gonna turn dark on us, but we keep cooking here at BBQiT. Okay, we just hit 205 internal. It's time to get it out, wrap it in this towel. Time for the carryover. I'm gonna leave this wrapped in the cooler for 2 hours. Now what I've done with this cooler is I brought it inside, got it warm, then filled it with hot water so that this would not be shocked by going into something cold. Now watch when I open it, it's gonna steam. Looks like smoke. All right, let's get it in there. All right, and there she'll stay for 2 hours in the house. It's gonna let it relax, and then we'll slice. Okay, so we just hit the 2-hour rest mark. I brought my cutting board back out, brought my cooler back out. Let's do it. This is very, ooh, the steam smells fantastic. This is a very exciting moment. All right, let's see how we did. All right. Oh, that is gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna cut the flat. You could separate the point from the flat. I'm actually gonna do that, but I'm not gonna slide it off. I'm just gonna cut. There's our starter cut right there. So I'm gonna come into about right here. That is some bark right there. Wow. Oh yes. All right, let me spin that around for you. Get you a slice of that. The bark is just incredible. The smell is incredible. You put in a hard work, but not as long as others. There she be, the old finger test. And now it's down to the pull. Oh. Dead on, dead on. That is fantastic. You can do fast and hot on a Weber 26. It's so good. All right, let's take a look at our point and see how we did. Ooh. And there we have it. Just as juicy as imagined. That sat for 2 hours. Look at the bark. Oops, I just knocked some off. Oh my God, that is absolutely beautiful. So of course, this is what you would get your burnt ends from. You would slice, you can slice some nice healthy chunks of this. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Slow down with the knife, look at that. Oh, all right, let's get a nice chunk. Oh gosh, so look at that. Beautiful bark, falls apart with a nice pull. That's a home run. All right, hot and fast brisket. Done in 5 hours on the Weber 26, cooking at around 375 to 400. And it started to drop in that last hour into the 330s, but the temperature of the beef kept going up, so I didn't touch the fire. And this is absolutely fantastic. Let me cut some slices. I got some folks ready to eat. Look at that. Let's make something pretty real quick. How about that? There we have it. Nice little barbecue throwdown. Oh, one of my favorite barbecue sauces. Let's pop some of that. This is Smoking Hogs. Really, really good barbecue sauce. I'm gonna put a little drizzle right there, a little pile. So there you have it. All the fixings, jalapenos, pickles, Asian coleslaw, little twist. Potato salad, onions, beans, brisket. Thanks for watching BBQiT. Don't forget, ring the bell, click the bell, subscribe, share it with your friends, make some comments. If you have some things you want me to make or some ideas on some spins on some things, let me know. I'll give it a shot. Cheers. So good.